Most slot players believe that every machine in a casino is stacked against them in exactly the same way. That idea feels safe. But it's wrong. Some machines are designed to keep you entertained. Others are engineered to drain your money as efficiently as possible. And a small number are so mathematically different that casinos quietly move them out of your line of sight. In this video, you're going to see what usually stays hidden. Which games are built to empty your bankroll, and which ones quietly give skilled players a chance to survive longer than they should. Machine number 1, White Orchid, dollar denomination. White Orchid is one of those machines most players walk past without a second glance. It doesn't flash bright lights or blast sound effects across the floor. No movie tie-ins. No celebrities. No slot tournaments advertised above it. And that quiet presentation is exactly what keeps most players from realizing how strong it actually is. Behind the calm design sits one of the most underestimated mathematics structures in modern video slots. At dollar denomination and above, White Orchid routinely offers return percentages in the mid-96% range, territory normally reserved for high-quality video poker. That alone puts it far ahead of most themed slots dominating casino floors today. The reason White Orchid performs so well is simple: it wasn't designed as a branded spectacle. It was built around a system that pays in both directions across the reels with over 1,000 ways to win on every spin. Instead of relying on dramatic bonuses and theatrical animations, it delivers steady value through high base returns and a free spins round that actually pays when it triggers. Won regular tractor sessions for several years while playing this machine as part of her weekly routine. She stuck to a strict budget, kept clear records, and played patiently. When she reviewed the results after 4 years, the gambling ledger alone showed loss, but once casino rewards were added, the picture completely changed. Rooms, free food, and bonus credits far outweighed the money she fed into the machine. What looked like leisure was quietly subsidizing her lifestyle. Former casino managers admitted that games like White Orchid exist for specific customers. Not thrill seekers. Not tourists. But consistent locals who know quality when they see it. Smaller properties lean on high-return games like this to compete with larger destinations that rely on luxury amenities. Instead of selling illusion, those casinos compete on mathematics. White Orchid never advertises what it truly is. It simply waits for players who recognize value when it isn't decorated. Machine number 2, Double Bonus Poker 10 of 7. Double Bonus Poker exists for players who understand that bigger rewards always come with bigger swings. This version of video poker trades smooth consistency for explosive payouts, especially when it comes to four-of-a-kind hands. Compared to jacks or better, where wins arrive gradually, Double Bonus concentrates profit into fewer but much stronger moments. A true full-pay 10-7 Double Bonus machine returns just over 100% when played correctly, which places it in a rare category of casino games where mathematics favors the player instead of the house. However, this edge is not gentle. The table is designed to heavily reward specific hands, most notably 4 aces, which can pay dramatically more than anything else in the game. The result is extreme volatility. Winning sessions can be massive, but losing streaks feel endless. This volatility is where most players fail. Without the emotional discipline to handle large downswings, the edge collapses. Many players abandon the game during cold streaks or raise bets emotionally after losses, and in both cases, the math no longer works for them. Casinos know this. That's why Double Bonus remains available in certain markets while other high-return games disappear. The volatility itself protects the casino. One former player turned the game into a numbers experiment. He treated Double Bonus as structured risk, not entertainment. Starting with a $15,000 bankroll at dollar denomination, he tracked everything for 5 years. Some days he walked out down 2 or 3,000. Other days he carried wins that overshadowed weeks of losses. When all wins, losses, and comp value were finalized, he stood more than $27,000 ahead. That result didn't come from gambling. It came from endurance. The machine still exists scattered across regional casinos, particularly away from tourist-heavy destinations. Local markets and tribal casinos are more likely to keep them alive because fewer casual players will sit long enough to exploit them. Experienced players follow a simple rule: never trust a name. Always read the pay table. The 10 of 7 label matters. A weaker version might look identical, but quiet changes under the hood will steal the advantage. Double bonus doesn't reward luck. It rewards nerve. Machine number 3, Quick Hit Platinum, High Denomination. Quick Hit Platinum looks like just another modern slot, until you understand how it behaves when real money is placed behind it. This series doesn't reward small wagers with honesty. The lowest denominations quietly come with weak math and loud disappointment. But once players move into $1 and $5 territory, the entire game changes. The numbers improve. The logic tightens. And the return percentage climbs into territory most slot players never reach. At higher denominations, Quick Hit Platinum operates closer to a traditional wagering machine than a psychological entertainment device. Wins are not disguised as losses. When the machine pays, it pays an actual profit relative to the wager. When it takes money, it does it cleanly without false celebrations. For players who understand value, this is almost unheard of behavior in modern slots. The structure itself is simple. Land quick hit symbols anywhere, and the machine pays based on quantity, not position. There are no forced bonuses, no pick boards pretending you have control, and no cinematic distractions covering bad math. It's a direct transaction between spin and outcome, something slot floors abandoned years ago. One retired engineer treated the machine as a long-term efficiency test. Playing consistently at $5 denomination, he logged every dollar without emotion. Wins were measured. Losses were accepted. Nothing was chased. After 3 years and more than $1 million cycled through the machine, his final position was nearly flat. In slot terms, that is unheard of. No fantasy. Just numbers doing what they promise. Former casino workers confirmed that Quick Hit Platinum is a locals game. Tourists want lights. Regulars want value. And machines like this never sit in front. They live near high roller rooms, away from crowds, where only players who understand probabilities wander. Not every quick hit version is worth touching. Low denomination editions quietly bleed money. Black and gold cabinets look exciting while paying significantly worse under the hood. The platinum version, played correctly at higher bets, is an entirely different animal. This isn't a slot that entertains. This is a slot that respects mathematics. Machine number 4, Deuces Wild, Full Pay. Deuces Wild is one of the few casino games that quietly breaks the usual rules of gambling. In most slots, the math is always against the player. It doesn't matter how long you play, how carefully you choose machines, or how lucky you feel, the edge is designed to live with the casino. But Full Pay Deuces Wild sits in a completely different category. With perfect strategy, this game actually swings the mathematics in the player's favor, producing a return that exceeds 100%. That means, over a long enough timeline, the casino expects to lose money rather than the player. Of course, there's a reason casinos are not afraid of this machine in practice. The advantage only exists when the game is played flawlessly. Every single decision matters. Which cards you hold, which you discard, and when you break decent hands for stronger possibilities has a direct impact on whether you maintain the edge or give it right back. Most casual players never study the strategy. They rely on instinct, emotion, or habit. And the moment strategy slips, the advantage disappears. Casinos noticed long ago that skilled players were quietly extracting money from these machines. The result wasn't louder warnings or official bans, it was silent replacement. Full pay versions were phased out. The cabinet stayed. The name stayed. The artwork stayed. But the pay tables were subtly changed. Today, many Deuces Wild games look identical to the full version while paying significantly worse under the surface. That's why experienced players never trust branding. They verify. A simple check reveals everything. True full-pay Deuces Wild machines reward a straight flush with 9 credits per coin played. If that number is 8 instead of 9, you're not playing the real thing. You're sitting at a machine designed to look fair while slowly stripping away the mathematical edge that once made the game legendary. In one carefully tracked example, a small team of disciplined players identified a bank of legitimate machines inside a Nevada casino. They rotated sessions, followed perfect strategy, and kept detailed records. Over several months, they ran hundreds of thousands of dollars through those games and ended with real profit, not from luck, not from streaks, but from mathematics doing exactly what it was built to do. When the casino finally realized what was happening, the machines were quietly altered. Players who truly understand Deuces Wild never chase bonuses, never slam buttons, and never react emotionally. They play slowly. They check charts. They think before they act. And from a casino perspective, that kind of player is far more dangerous than any gambler who plays for excitement. Machine number 5, Bonus Poker Deluxe, Full Pay 9/6. Bonus Poker Deluxe was created for players who prefer structure over chaos and mathematics over emotion. Where most video poker games tempt you with uneven jackpots and force risky decisions through emotional pressure, this version quietly removes that trap. Every 4 of a kind pays the exact same amount. There is no special hand to hunt, no card rank that secretly dominates the strategy. The game replaces temptation with precision. When played correctly, Bonus Poker Deluxe returns close to 99.7%. That alone places it among the strongest machines in any casino. But its real power is how it behaves over time. Instead of dramatic streaks and wild emotional swings, the game produces stability. Your bankroll lasts longer. Your sessions stretch further. You're not constantly climbing out of holes created by volatility. And when your bankroll lasts longer, something else starts happening quietly in the background. Comps begin stacking up. Players' club points, meal credits, cashback offers, and room rewards don't depend on how much you win. They depend on how long you play and how much you cycle through the machine. Bonus Poker Deluxe turns time into leverage. The casino expects most players to lose faster than comps accumulate. This machine breaks that assumption. One retired professor came to this game after burning out on more complex versions like Deuces Wild and Double Bonus. He wanted the math advantage without the mental fatigue. He printed a compact strategy chart, laminated it, and treated the game like a structured system instead of entertainment. Over 2 years, his raw gambling losses were barely noticeable. His casino benefits, however, were not. Free weekend stays, steady dining offers, and promotional credits became routine. Casinos don't highlight Bonus Poker Deluxe. They don't showcase it. They place it quietly where it won't attract attention. Because when a game offers strong math and little emotional manipulation, it doesn't make money the right way, it gives players control. Most players chase excitement. Bonus Poker Deluxe rewards patience. And in a casino environment built on urgency and impulse, patience is the one strategy management can't counter. Machine number 6, Wheel of Fortune Triple Action, Dollar version. Most casino players believe all Wheel of Fortune machines are the same. Bright screens. Famous logo. Giant spinning wheel. They assume the only difference is the denomination printed under the button. In reality, that number changes everything. The quarter denomination versions of Wheel of Fortune are among the worst financial decisions on any casino floor. They feel exciting. They look lucrative. But the math quietly bleeds players dry. The house edge is massive, and the will bonus, despite all its drama, rarely delivers enough to outweigh the cost of triggering it. Casinos rely on familiarity and fandom to keep people seated at machines that mathematically punish them. Triple action at dollar denomination is not the same game. This version was engineered for players who actually read pay tables. Casinos know that higher denomination gamblers are less tolerant of brutal odds. They will walk the moment they sense unfair math. So the return percentage rises significantly when the denomination increases, pushing triple action into a far more playable range than its cheaper counterparts. It still favors the house, but far less aggressively. The bonus structure changes as well. Instead of one performative wheel spin, Triple Action introduces multi-phase mechanics where each round compounds potential value rather than dangling it. The game rewards progression instead of teasing it. Bonuses land heavier. Dead spins shrink. Wins feel proportionate instead of symbolic. One disciplined local realized this and ignored every Wheel of Fortune cabinet that wasn't Triple Action at dollar level or above. Over a year and a half, he tracked every session. Some months punished him. Other months rescued him. But when he reviewed the totals, he wasn't buried. He was slightly ahead. Not because the game was generous, but because he had located the only version that wasn't predatory. Casinos do not advertise this distinction. They have no reason to. The more players avoid understanding differences between denominations, the easier money becomes. The same logo appears on every cabinet, encouraging people to believe the machines are equal when they're not. Wheel of Fortune Triple Action proves a final point that casinos hope players never fully accept: the name on the machine doesn't matter. The math does. And when the math improves, everything about the experience changes. Machine number 7, Blazing Sevens, Classic 3 Reel. Blazing Sevens feels like a machine from a completely different casino era. No storylines. No cinematic effects. No flashing prompts telling you that you almost won something massive. Just 3 reels, a limited set of symbols, and a pay table that actually means what it shows. In a modern casino filled with psychological tricks, that kind of simplicity is rare and uncomfortable for the house. This game was designed long before slot machines became entertainment systems instead of gambling devices. Back then, machines survived only if players trusted the math behind them. If a slot quietly drained money without paying fairly, players abandoned it and casinos pulled it. Blazing Sevens was built in that environment, and its return reflects it. Most versions operate in a significantly higher RTP range than modern video slots that fund animation teams, sound design, and licensed content instead of player payouts. What makes Blazing Sevens powerful is not the size of any single jackpot, but how little deception exists between the spin and the result. There are no loss disguised as win effects here. No celebration sound for getting back less than you wagered. When you hit, you win real value. When you lose plainly. Nothing in between. That transparency removes the emotional manipulation that keeps most players spinning far longer than they planned. One disciplined local built her routine entirely around classic reel machines like this. She never chased losses. She never raised her bet emotionally. She played within clear limits and walked away when she reached them. Over time, her sessions remained stable while players nearby burned through bankrolls chasing theatrics on high-volatility video slots. The difference wasn't luck. It was game selection. Casinos are not unaware of this. That's why machines like Blazing Sevens are quietly pushed toward side walls and high-limit corners. Not because they're outdated, but because experienced players recognize value quickly when a game doesn't scream at them. Blazing Sevens doesn't entertain. It behaves honestly. And in a casino, honesty is dangerous. Machine number 8, Deuces and Joker, Full Pay. Deuces and Joker is the version of video poker that rarely feels slow or empty. While other wild-based games often trap players in long, quiet stretches waiting for something meaningful to happen, the presence of a joker completely changes the rhythm of the game. With 5 wild cards now in the deck, hands evolve faster, combinations form more frequently, and sessions feel more active. You're not simply watching cards pass by. You're constantly involved in decision-making that matters. The full-pay version returns just over 99% when played correctly, placing it far ahead of nearly every traditional slot on the floor. But what truly makes this game stand out is not just the number. It's how the number behaves in practice. Dry spells are shorter, momentum returns faster, and bankrolls don't suffer from the violent swings common in high-volatility machines. The game gives players breathing room instead of pressure. Casinos rarely put this machine in the spotlight. You won't find it screaming for attention near entrances or surrounded by flashing promotions. Instead, it tends to live in quieter sections, in locals' casinos, off-strip rooms, and regional properties where the focus shifts from spectacle to value. Smaller markets rely on machines like this because experienced players understand return percentage better than theme licensing. One casino host once documented a couple who structured their entire travel routine around deuces and joker. Every few months they visited the same property, played with discipline, and kept careful records. Their raw gambling results stayed close to neutral. But their casino rewards told a very different story. Over several years, free hotel stays, dining credits, and promotional offers far exceeded the money they actually lost pushing buttons. The casino subsidized every trip while believing it was simply building loyalty. Deuces and Joker is built for players who understand endurance more than excitement. It allows you to remain in action long enough for the machines to stop bleeding and start behaving. But the advantage only exists if the pay table is correct. A single line adjusted downward transforms a premium option into an ordinary money funnel. That's why educated players never rely on cabinet design, artwork, or reputation. They read every number before committing $1. This game isn't pushed with advertising or special promotions. It doesn't need them. It waits in silence for players who know the difference between entertainment and structure, and who understand that consistency beats adrenaline every time. Machine number 9, Jacks or Better, Full Pay 9/6. Jacks or Better is the game many professionals quietly start with when they learn that not all casino machines are built the same. At first glance, it looks simple. 5 cards. Standard rules. No flashing lights or bonus distractions. But underneath that basic design is one of the most transparent and mathematically fair systems you'll find anywhere on a casino floor, if you locate the correct version. The full-pay September 6th edition of Jacks or Better offers a return of 99.54% when played perfectly. That number alone already separates it from almost every slot machine around it. But the difference becomes shocking when you compare it to penny slots, which often give back only 85 to 88% over time. The average slot quietly removes $12 to $15 for every 100 you wager. Jacks or Better barely touches your money by comparison. And once players' club rewards and casino comps enter the picture, the math begins to tilt in the player's favor. The edge is no longer theoretical. Over time, with correct decisions, players using proper strategy can slide slightly ahead rather than steadily falling behind. That single detail explains why experienced employees say casinos actively hide, relocate, or quietly downgrade these machines rather than advertising them. Spotting a true full-pay machine is easier than most players realize. The pay table gives it away instantly. When betting 1 credit, the machine must pay 9 credits for a full house and 6 credits for a flush. Anything less signals a weaker version designed to drain money faster while pretending to be the same game. Over the years, many major Las Vegas casinos eliminated the real 9/6 machines entirely. Downtown locations, local casinos, and tribal properties still carry them if you know where to look, and if you're willing to walk past the noisy crowds to find the machines management hopes you won't notice. One longtime professional gambler described treating Jacks or Better like a second career. Starting with a $10,000 bankroll at dollar denomination, he maintained strict discipline, never deviated from strategy, and kept records for every session. After 2 decades, the math did exactly what it promised. His total position exceeded $180,000, not from streaks, but from patience and precision. Casinos rarely promote video poker for a reason. Educated players turn these machines into slow but reliable income streams. Anyone chasing jackpots keeps the casino rich. Anyone chasing probability becomes a problem. Now you know something most players never learn. Casinos don't win by luck. They win by design. Every button, every bonus, every payout exists for a reason. But when you understand the math, the illusion breaks. If this video opened your eyes, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who plays slots. Because in a casino, luck comes and goes. Knowledge stays.